I grew up in a town, a small suburb right outside of Youngstown, Ohio. And Youngstown was a steel city, a magnificent, thriving steel city until about 1960. My dad was a high school English teacher in the city. The community that I grew up in was all white, not particularly wealthy, but there was clearly a kind of racial segregation by communities. My mom had been an accountant, but she, like every other mom I knew, stayed home and raised children. I actually had several good teachers, but the person who was most influential was a guy named Bill Dykins. We called him Dyke. He was my speech coach. So you have to understand, this was a time before Title IX. There were no competitive athletics for girls. I think it's hard to separate thinking and writing. And I found that as students learn to write more clearly, they also understand their thoughts more clearly. And I think expression through writing is just very, very important. I mean, my students always laugh because I correct grammar and I tell them the derivations of words, and because I love it. That thinking about writing as communication, I know it seems really kind of obvious, but most people don't write with the reader in mind. And so helping people realize that there actually is not just one other person they're writing for, it's not just for a professor, it's for an audience.